On December 28, 2015, the County Dispatch Center, NIOSH, received a telephone call at 0103 hours from an alarm company who reported a burglar alarm at a single-family residence. NIOSH dispatched 2 city police officers at 0106 hours. At 0111 hours, 2 police officers arrived on scene and reported heavy smoke showing from the residence. As the police officers were responding, they stated they could see smoke from several blocks away and knew that this was a working fire. When the officers arrived on scene, a yellowish-gray smoke was blowing across the street, east to west, from the rear of the house toward the front. There was so much smoke in the street that the neighbors across the street were not sure which house was on fire. The neighbors advised the police that an elderly couple lived at the residence. The police officers walked around the house and found an open cellar door with smoke pushing out. One police officer went to the second floor using the outside stairs. He knocked on the door, but there was no answer. At 0113 hours, the fire department was dispatched to a report of a residential structure fire. NIOSH dispatched Engine 21, Engine 24, Engine 26, Medic 22, Medic 25, Quint 25, Tower 22, and Battalion 20 for a structure fire at the residence. The fire dispatcher advised on the dispatch channel that heavy black smoke was showing. The fire dispatcher advised at 0114 hours that 2 elderly people might be in the house. Additionally, the dispatcher transmitted there was smoke coming from the basement in the back of the house. These transmissions were on the dispatch channel only and not simulcast on the tactical channel. During the interviews, most firefighters and fire officers said they did not hear these radio messages. They had already switched to the fireground tactical channel. Also, most of the firefighters were putting on their turnout gear and had not turned on the apparatus radio. Quint 25 responded at 0114 hours and arrived on scene at 0117 hours. Upon arrival, the acting officer of Quint 25 met a police officer who advised him that the neighbors reported possibly 2 victims inside. Heavy smoke was showing from the front half of the house. The acting officer of Quint 25 told the firefighter on Quint 25 to take the thermal imager and irons to the front porch. The acting officer from Quint 25 walked from side Alpha alongside Bravo to the corner of side Charlie before stopping and retracing his steps back to the side Alpha. Note: the acting officer did not walk the entire length of side Charlie, and the raised porch prevented the acting officer from seeing the open Bilco door leading to the basement. At 0118 hours, the acting officer of Quint 25 advised the dispatcher that smoke was showing from 3 sides of the residential structure but could see no visible fire. The wind was coming from the west at about 12 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour and, although shifting, was generally coming from side Charlie. The acting officer of Quint 25 stated that at one point the smoke was pushing through the front of the house. This observation was consistent with the wind blowing directly through the open Bilco door into the basement. Battalion 20, Engine 24, and Medic 22 arrived on scene at 0120 hours. Battalion 20, a captain acting as the shift commander, parked in the church parking lot across the street from the residence. Battalion 20 assumed command and requested a safety officer respond. Battalion 20 took the accountability board and walked to side Delta of the structure. The basement windows were intact and had not vented. Heavy smoke was now showing on side Alpha and the Alpha Bravo corner, and the smoke was hanging. A 1 3/4 inch hose line was pulled to the front door, and a 1 3/4 backup line was pulled to the Alpha Bravo corner. Command ordered Engine 24 to assist Quint 25. The acting officer of Quint 25 decided to enter the house through the front door, which was on the Alpha Bravo corner. The firefighter from Quint 25 forced the front door. The smoke had a brownish-grayish tint. Quint 25 made entry into the foyer and the family/living room. The acting officer of Quint 25 stated that the smoke was about a foot off the floor but was not hot. The time was 0123 hours. Suddenly, the smoke changed color and then fire started blowing out the front door onto the porch. On the fireground tactical channel, command radioed everyone out of the building. At approximately the same time, the Quint 25 firefighter crawled into the family/living room when the floor collapsed underneath him. The Quint 25 firefighter immediately fell into the basement. The acting officer of Quint 25 started calling for the firefighter from the foyer, but was immediately enveloped in fire. At 01:23 hours, the officer from Engine 24 called a Mayday. The engineer from Tower 22 picked up the backup line and knocked the fire down around the acting officer of Quint 25. Note: Command transmitted the Mayday to the dispatcher on the fireground tactical channel, not on the dispatch channel. The dispatcher does not monitor the fireground tactical channel. The dispatcher did not know that the firefighter from Quint 25 had fallen into the basement. The fire department's standard operating procedure SOP 1.10, radio system procedures, requires that when a Mayday occurs on the fireground, command must communicate the Mayday on the fire dispatch channel. The dispatcher is automatically required to dispatch an extra alarm consisting of 2 engines, 1 ladder or quint or tower ladder, and 2 medic units, or as otherwise specified by the incident commander. These units should have been automatically dispatched by the dispatcher to respond and report to staging. At approximately 01:25 hours, Command ordered Tower 22 and Engine 21 to locate an entrance to the basement and find the Quint 25B. Tower 22 forced the rear door going into the kitchen. Heavy black smoke poured out of the doorway. At 01:25 hours, Engine 24 made entry into the foyer. Engine 24A radioed there was heavy fire in the basement, and after the collapse, used the thermal imager to check the basement while operating from the foyer. The thermal imager whited out when pointed at the basement. Engine 24 continued operating a 1 3/4-inch hose line in the foyer and doorway of the family/living room, knocking down the fire on the first floor and the basement. At approximately 01:28 hours, Engine 24A radioed command that he could hear a pass alarm from the basement. Engine 21 was operating a 2.5-inch hose line in the basement window on side Bravo. Engine 21 removed an air conditioner from the basement window on side Bravo to improve water flow into the basement. At 01:30 hours, Tower 22 radioed command that they were in the basement as part of the Rapid Assistance Team and had been joined by Engine 21. Tower 22A said he could hear a pass alarm sounding toward side Alpha. Tower 22 located the firefighter from Quint 25 in the basement directly underneath the hole in the first floor. Tower 22 could see fire in the rafters as they moved toward side Alpha in the basement. Approximately 2 feet of water was in the basement. Quint 25B was found lying on his left side. When he was located by Tower 22, his face piece, protective hood, gloves, and turnout boots had been removed. The impact cap from the helmet was still on his head. Tower 22 tried to move Quint 25B, but he was entangled. Quint 25B's foot was entangled and had to be freed from burned chairs and storage items. The Tower 22 officer radioed command for webbing and a stokes basket while Tower 22 was trying to secure the firefighter in the stokes basket with webbing. Engine 21 was clearing a path to the Bilco doors. They moved Quint 25B to the basement entrance with the help of Engine 21. The time was approximately 01:37 hours. In less than 10 minutes, the firefighter was placed in a stokes basket and removed from the basement. Once outside the house, Quint 25B was moved to a stretcher. Quint 25B was then moved to Medic 22. 6 medics from Medic 22, Medic 24, and Medic 25 started treatment on Quint 25B. Medic 22 transported Quint 25B to the local trauma center at 01:44 hours and arrived at 01:52 hours. The firefighter from Quint 25 was pronounced dead at 02:26 hours by the medical staff in the emergency room of the local trauma center. While the Rapid Assistance Team operation was occurring in the basement, Command had Engine 212 take a hose line to the second floor to search for possible victims. At 01:37 hours, Engine 212, Par 3, entered the second floor by the exterior steps. Engine 212 conducted a complete search of the 3 bedrooms on the second floor. At 01:41 hours, Engine 212 reported the second floor all clear. Command ordered Engine 212 out of the building. Engine 212 reported to Command they were out of the building at 01:43 hours. After Quint 25B was transported to the hospital, Command temporarily stopped fireground operations. The day shift commander, deputy chief, and the deputy chief in charge of training had arrived on scene. The priority was to evaluate members and to contact Quint 25B's immediate family and get them to the hospital. Several members left the scene for various assignments. Additional mutual aid companies responded to assist with fireground operations. At approximately 01:49 hours, command switched from an offensive strategy to a defensive strategy. Quint 25's ladder pipe was used until the automatic nozzle malfunctioned. Tower 22 was moved from behind Quint 25 to facing Quint 25. The ladder pipe from Tower 22 and several handlines were used to knock down the fire. The deputy chief in charge of training assumed command of the incident at this time. During this time, preparations were being made to get the critical incident stress management process started at the fire department headquarters, Fire Station 22. The fire was knocked down and placed under control at approximately 03:58 hours. Overhaul of the structure was started at this time. At approximately 0500 hours, the incident commander declared the fire was out.